Hello, my fellow comic book collectors. This is going to be a really special unboxing. It's actually 3 big boxes that don't have many comics inside, but do have really major comics inside. So these are all pretty amazing books. I didn't expect to be able to get these books, especially right now. I have to explain this a little bit because lately the market is down. Okay, and generally when the market is down, you expect that sort of the easier books, the ones that you can easily replace, those books will come up in the market because those books, you can sell, you'll maybe take a little loss, but, ultimately you can replace them in your personal collection and it's not going to be too bad. But the books that I'm going to show you now, these are Grails. These are books that you don't want to sell at that discount because they're not easily replaced. Some of these books have less than 20 on the census. Some of them have less than 10 on the census. And some are ones that you just never see. Like maybe the last sale was 3-4 years ago. It's like that kind of level. These are pretty big books. So we're going to start out with this package. And I've already kind of unboxed it a little bit because they wrapped it really well because the books inside were pretty major. As I'm saying, these are Grail books. And this one, actually I got from a seller on Instagram. And they were doing a claim sale. They were really nice. The thing is, I think they got a little bit overwhelmed. They had some stuff that was going on. And originally, they were supposed to send it for free to the US. And because I had bought a bunch. But I asked, is it okay if he could, because he was a little bit late. Took an extra week. If he could send it to Canada, he was like, sure. And he had already given me, these books, they did sort of this crazy golden age half price sale. It was like, and then on that half price, I was able to even negotiate more. It was just so crazy. These books are huge. And to get that kind of discount on these massive books, it's hard to resist. It's really hard to resist. So I'm going to show you the books. I hope that you're as amazed by them as I am. The first one, this one is one I bidded on so many times. It was at auction. And it's an EC. EC books are a little bit more common, to tell you the truth. But this one, it's like one of those ones that it's really hard to win on the auction because everyone wants it. And I'll show you what I mean. It is Crime Suspense Stories number 17. And this is, a lot of people think this is an execution or murder cover, but it's not. It is actually a suicide cover. This is the guy's own arm. He's shooting himself in the head. It's just a crazy cover. It's a Johnny Craig cover. It is probably kind of considered one of the grails of the whole EC line because it is such an extreme cover. Generally with these pre-code horror books, it's more about how extreme can the cover be. And this is pretty extreme. Guy is literally blowing his brains out on the cover. And you got the woman in the background just staring at this and like, oh, wow, it's so crazy. So it was one that I've always wanted just because of the craziness of it all. But so I picked that up for a really reasonable price. The next one also has that extreme cover. And I heard that there was a different version to this cover where it was even more extreme. But they toned it down a little bit. But it is the Axe one. This is Tales from the Crypt, number 38. And it's just it's a crazy axe one. He's like, looks like he's about to chop off somebody's head or do something or other. That's not such a good thing. Just a really great cover. And this was another one that was on my want list. I tried a couple times to win it in the past. Not as many as the other book. The other book I was really having no luck trying to get. But to get these both at that half price sale, it was pretty amazing. So yeah, so this is Tales of the Crypt number 38. And last, but not least in any particular matter, this is a really big book. One that I looked at on eBay. There is one on eBay. I think it's going for $2,000-$3,000. And they had it, again, half price sale. So it's really cheap. They had it for like $500. And it's similar grade to the one that's like $2,000-$3,000, just so you know. And then I actually offered an even lower price, and they said, sure. I was like, wow, this is a book I've been wanting for a while. It is a great cover. It is actually Jack Kamen cover. And it's the, you know, it's like this kind of crazy, it's All Top Comics number 8, I believe. And it's the one where really All Top Comics, if you look at All Top, and a lot of Fox publications like Zoot, All Top, JoJo, a lot of them started out as being cartoon books, like, you know, with typical cartoony kind of characters. In this issue, All Top becomes like a jungly kind of more, like not adult, but adult actually, much more targeted towards adults, I should say, than the original books within the series. And it sort of marked a lot of the Good Girl and Jungle kind of style books for Fox. So it's just a really great book, highly sought after because it's such a crazy cover. Like these two pygmy guys are in bondage, and she's almost like playing with them as if they're toys. It's such a great cover, and just look, I mean, it's a great Good Girl art cover too. So yeah, it's just really a grail for the All Top collection. It's kind of the book. So yeah, so those and a lot of the All Tops and the other ones from Fox publication featured some pretty amazing artists, like, as I said, Jack Kamen and Matt Baker and a bunch of others. Just really great artists inside. Okay, so that was the first box. Okay, let's see. I'm going to open up the second one. I'm going to have to cut a little bit. So one of these came from all the way from England. I think the last one came all the way from England. Oh, maybe it's this one. Actually, it's this one. This one? Did this come from England? Yep. Yep. This is the England one. So this is a big book. And he packed it really, really well. It arrived fairly quickly. It took like less than a week to arrive. He sent it by DHL, and they sent it really quickly. So he wrapped it extremely well. It's just one book, but it's a big book. It's definitely a big book. Here, let me see if I can get this out. Okay. So one of the collections that I'm working on, and it's a collection I really, really want to complete, because it would be just kind of a grail like collection to get, is Catman. Now, Catman featured the artwork of L.B. Cole, and it's just, I just love the artwork for it. This is one of those patriotic covers, and there's Catman. This girl is Kitten, and then we got each of the different forces for the U.S. military. We got the Army, the Navy, and the Air Force. So it's just kind of a cool cover, like it has all the kind of patriotic elements. It has the wartime elements, and I just love this cover. He offered it for a really great price. I talked him down a little bit, not too much, because I didn't think there was that much room to talk him down, because it is a book that is highly sought after. It's not a super high grade, but it is the origin of Kitten retold, and yeah, just a great flag cover. And this is L.B. Cole art. I kind of like these kind of very simple but patriotic kind of covers. So what do you think? Do you guys like Catman? So there's a lot of really great covers in the run. A lot of Hitler covers that are kind of like, you know, Hitler getting punched in the face or, you know, some crazy thing. So I really enjoy Catman. There's a bunch that I'm trying to get from the run. There's like 30 some odd issues in the run. So it's a pretty big run. And every single one of them is considered a pretty major book. So it's a hard run to complete. And I have about 4 or 5 of them now. So that's that one. Okay. Now, the last book is probably the biggest of all the books that I've shown. And this is just one that, as I said, you don't see this very often. The guy actually offered it to me slightly lower than the last sale for this book. So, and the last sale was, I think, in 2021 or 2022. I think it was maybe 2021. So it was a little ways ago. It is a big book. It is a book from the Platinum Age. It's not a Golden Age book. It's a Platinum Age book. And it is a book that you just don't see. It is one that you just, you know, if you see this book, grab it because it's that rare. I'll throw that on the ground. And okay, I'm gonna have to slice a little bit here. He wrapped all these vendors. You can tell they know that the books are valuable. So when they sent them, all of them did a really amazing job of sending the books. So I have to give them high marks for that. And all these books were sent by express kind of courier shipment because they are expensive books and they're ones that you don't want to get lost in the mail. So it's okay. That's actually not too bad to get out, actually, considering it was really well wrapped. Now this book is just such a great book, and it's not it's actually a fairly high grade considering that it is from 1935. This is Tip Top Comics #1. Now this is such a major book. You'll notice that on the cover, you got like just a whole bunch of characters. And a lot of these characters, this book was where they made their first appearance. So I'll read to you all the first appearances in this book. Tarzan, pretty major character. Little Abner. Fritzy Ritz, Ella, Cedars, and Captain and the Kids. So all major characters. This is where they made their first appearance. When I was a kid, my grandmother gave me a copy of Captain and the Kids number 1. It was like a book, and it was like one of the first cartoon books. And to get their first comic appearance is kind of cool, you know. So this is, it's a 4.0, which is a fairly high grade for the Golden Age, or Platinum Age in this case. And it's just a book that you just don't see. And I'll kind of zoom in so you can see all the characters. It's kind of funny. You got little Abner fighting Tarzan, and it's just, you know, pretty major book. This is so Tip Top Comics actually launched many great characters. In later issues, there was the first Snoopy and Snoopy's first Peanuts were in Tip Top Comics. So this is kind of a major title as well. So to get the #1 issue, an issue that has like all these major characters in it, and they're on the cover as well, so that's kind of a bonus. It's just really great. You know, it's not maybe the best cover in the world, but it is such a major kind of iconic book. And I'll show you the back. It's got Ella. It actually has like one of her stories on the back. I wasn't that familiar with this character. Yeah, it's just a character that I don't know. I mean, it's one of those characters that might have been lost to the Platinum Age. If you know her, then you can tell me different. But I wasn't familiar with her. But yeah, just kind of a cool book. So yeah, I'm super excited to get this book actually. And when I saw it, like the guy listed it up on Instagram. He, had, it was a claim, or best offer. I offered a little bit lower. I didn't offer a huge amount lower because actually the price that he offered was fairly fair. So I didn't really think it was justified to, haggle too much on it. But it was just such a great book. I had to jump on it because you just don't see it that often. And as I said, I'm really shocked that this kind of level of book is even coming up. Like you don't expect people would be selling these kind of books in a low market, and for lower than, like typically it's a seller's market for these kind of books. You can, whatever the last sale is, that's the starting point. It's usually up from there. So to get it for such a great price, which was actually lower than the previous sale, is a big deal. So I was quite happy about that. So yeah, just a really great book. I was really excited to get all these books. I hope you enjoyed this unboxing. It's not like the biggest unboxing that I've done, but it is about quality in this case. These are major books. You just don't see that often. And I hope you enjoyed them. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.